You guys know that Omnimon is my boy. Love it. And we're finally going to get the chance to show off Red Omnimon for the Set 1.5 format. So let's do this. So Red Omnimon is the best deck of the Set 1.5 format going, into April 1st, possibly being tied with Shine Greymon. That's my opinion. It's a very good deck. It got a couple new toys because of Set 1.5, making it better than Blue Omnimon. And it is good against all matchups, really. It has answers for everything, and we'll kind of talk about that as we move into the deck profile. As usual, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn that notification bell into Smash Potatoes. That way you know when all these amazing Digimon profiles come out. And I got nothing else to say, so let's just go talk about it. As usual, we will start with our babies. We're playing 4 of the new Digimon, arguably the best red baby we have right now. When you have 5 or more cards in your opponent's trash, you have plus 1000 DP. It's an inheritable that's always live as soon as you get to the mid game, and it doesn't matter what's underneath it. You could be attacking with a really big rookie now, or your Omnimon, doesn't really matter. We're playing 1 Coromon, because it does give you 1000 if you're level 6 or higher, which will happen quite often. Not as often as always being 1000 at all times, but, it's very often. So, those are our 5 babies. We play 14 level 3s, starting with the 3 Agumon from the starter deck that gives you plus 1000 inheritable. Then we're trying out 3 of this Biomon. On deletion if it's return gain of memory. So originally I was doing 4 and 2, but I wanted to up the count on this to see it a little more, to see if it actually matters, and it's actually really, really funny. Sometimes the 1000 you get off this is negligible, and sometimes just blindly running this into a security to get 1 memory randomly, or to just get free value by not dying at all, really, really helps. But getting you that 1 memory sometimes can make or break a really good turn for you. So, it's nice that Red actually has an option in memory game. It's a little bit weird, a little bit awkward if you ask me, but you play it. I like it at 3, and worst case scenario, if I don't need the memory really badly, I just evolve. So, not really a big deal. And because we're playing a Turbo Omnimon deck, our last ones here are just 8 of the 2 drops. They're really, really good. They cost 0 to evolve, which is why we're playing these ones instead of the Agumon from Set 1.5, the one that has the stats of Mushroomon. Having the free evolve really, really matters. And that does it for level 3s, 14. We got 11 level 4s. We have 4 of that, because it costs 1 to evolve and it's 6000. We have 4 blocker, and we have 3 of the Greymon, inheritable, security plus 1. I think this is pretty standard. This makes your big tower a lot scarier. You need your blockers and you need your cheap evolves. Nothing to say here, let's go on. We got 9 level 5s. This one is brand new, Lava Greedamon, I think that's how you say the name. It's a 2 to evolve, which makes it really good, and it's 8000 DP. So it is capable of being aggressive in the early game with not a lot to worry about, which is really, really cool. Obvious combos. If you can get a Lava Greedamon with Nagamon here, it's plus 1000, they can get 9000. And if you can get like this line even going, maybe, in the early game, not likely that you get this right away, but if you do, this is a level 5 that has 10,000, which for 2 to evolve is really good. Anyway, so we're playing 4 of it because of the additional pressure that it gives. It's one of the rare level 5s that I'd consider just blindly attacking the security if I really have nothing else going on. It'll force your opponent to kind of be aggressive back with you, and odds are they won't have anything in their security that deals with this. They might, sometimes you might lose out, but if you have the hand to recover, then you're definitely in a good spot, doesn't really matter. Next, we're playing 4 Groundramon still. This is also 2 costs to evolve, but what makes it different is it costs 5 to play. Now, I know you're not going to hear this, but you will brick with this deck. All decks can technically brick, but, a deck like this, you'll brick once in a while. And sometimes you'll have this in your hand. So if you're opening 5 cards, you have one of these, but you have no level 3s, odds are you're probably just going to drop this for 5. And then next turn, if they don't deal with it, you have a free level 6. Well, not a free level 6, but you have a level 6. So having that kind of pressure in a level 5 is really good. It's the same as your Monzimon, that giant teddy bear in blue. It's exactly the same rationale. That's why I'm playing 4 of it. I want to see it because of the 2 to evolve. And if I brick, playing 4 of it makes it more often to see than not. And that's that. The final one here is Skull Greymon. We play 1. This is really funny against the Ragnarlord player here because it blows up his Ragnarlordmon, which is hilarious. It's also just good at outing blockers, and in the very worst case scenario, you just evolve for 3. So it is level 5, it's good, it has some utility, it adds to the fiery destruction power that red has to offer, and that's really it. So that's it, we got 9 of these. Now we're playing a little bit of a weird lineup, but we're playing 8 level 6s, starting with 3 Phoenixmon. There is no room for 4. I'll show you what I opted to put in instead of a 4th one of this, I think you'll understand why. But the 2 cost to evolve is very important. Sometimes your opponent leaves you with 2, and that's where that comes in. Also being 12,000, you can swing into security, and you don't really have to hesitate. Really good. Next, we're playing 2 Blitz Greymon. This is a brand new toy from set 1.5, and one of the reasons why red is really good now. It's 4 to evolve, which is unfortunate. It's probably always going to end your turn, but it has piercing, which is really good. It also has when digivolving, you de-digivolve 2. That puts your opponent back. Like, say you're playing the mirror match and they have a level 6 on the field. Maybe you can put a level 5 on the field, maybe you can just do this and bring their 6 to a 4. And then that puts the tempo back in your favor. It's also good at outing things like Shine Greymon. It's also good at outing things like Sarismon. I think you get the picture. It keeps tempo and control. Even if you digivolve a level 5 and you bring your opponent back to level 3, it still puts them back. This card is just a master of putting things back. Piercing is really cool too. But it's really there for the de-digivolving, in my opinion. I really like that. Next, we're playing 2 Volcanic Dramons. We're playing this because it's on play, delete everything 4,000 or less. It has security +1, which is good. This is one of those level 6s you can just play without worrying about it. Not really a big deal, as long as you're getting good value from it. You can also evolve it, and that's perfectly okay too, which is really cool, thanks to playing red. This is just more of our aggro hate in the deck, and following up, our last level 6 is sorta aggro hate. It's War Greymon from set 1. Now, anyone that's been following me on this channel knows that in most of my red decks, I've played at least 1 copy of this card. That's because it gets an extra security attack when it digivolves that turn. That's not why we're doing it, that's really good. But it's during your turn when it attacks, it doesn't trigger any option security. Well, we happen to be in a format where Rookie Rush is tier 1, has a bunch of options. Red, in the mirror match, you don't want to trigger those Gaia Forces. Purple, you don't want to trigger any of their slew of options. And that's why this card is so valuable. I opted to play 1 of this and 3 Phoenixmon instead of 4 Phoenixmon. And I save it for the very end if I can. Sometimes it's only level 6 and you have no choice to evolve it early. But if you can save it until they have a few security left, or a couple security left, depending on your stack, this can just straight up win you the game, because you don't have to worry about things like Hammer Spark, Flower Cannon, Gaia Force, Trump Sword. Nothing like that. This card is just a win button. So I like it. It comes up, it steals games, and that's it for level 6s. We got 8. 3 Omnimon from the original set, and 2 Omnimon Ultra S from the new set. Both Omnimons have their different classifications. This one de-digivolves and board wipes a weak board of 5,000 or less. De-digivolves by 1, by the way. And it can become unblockable by returning level 6 underneath it to the hand, which matters. If you have this with like a Greymon underneath it, it's a free security +1 attack that they can't be blocked. That could be relevant, because sometimes people like to drop blockers on. The fact that this card is just ignorant, doesn't care about blockers, is really good. But, in my opinion, in red, this Omnimon is better. This can also board wipe if the opponent lines up multiple Digimon with the same name, because it picks a name and deletes all those Digimon when you digivolve. And it just has that second attack once by returning level 6 to your hand. 5 Omnimon is definitely the way I want to go. I know that down the road, I'm going to probably build Mega Zoo and play 4 of each Omnimon for the walls, and we'll see how that goes. But in terms of this deck, we can't afford anything like that, so we're just playing the 5. And they're all good. Nothing to say. Alright, so we have 3 cards left in deck. I'm playing 2 Gaia Force instead of 4. This is a trend that I saw on the internet somewhere, and I thought I'd try it at the very least, because originally I was playing 4. But, I don't miss the other 2 Gaia Force. I really don't. So often when I'm playing red, I draw multiples of these all the time, and they just suck. Yeah, it's good to just kill something on demand, but oh man. When you have Blitz Greymon, this is kind of redundant. And when you have all your Omnimons with, removal, this is also kind of redundant. Yeah, it's really good if you have security. Yeah, we know. But I think 2 is okay. I'm not really seeing the issues with 2. I barely draw it now that it's at 2. I also barely see it in security. But I'd rather just not deal with it. I'd rather just have as many Digimon as possible. So 2 is there. Our final card is the Tai Kamiya. That gives you 3 when you select your turn, and it gives your level 6 or higher stack security +1. Now, I typically hate tamers. I don't like these tamers that make you go to 3, because your opponent can just play into them and take advantage of that extra memory potentially. However, because we play a whole bunch of 3 costs to evolve and 2 costs to evolve in a level 6 line, it's really good to have that guaranteed Omnimon. If you have a level 5, and you have 3 memory, unless it's a Blitz Greymon, at which point you're choking your opponent at 1, which isn't even a bad thing, you're getting value, because you're going to go to your Omnimon that turn if you need to. So it's a lot of firepower, a lot of removal. That's really why it's there. The extra security attack is nice, lets you get a little more aggressive, but it's not as important as the 3 memory in this deck. But we're only playing 1, I do not want to see multiples at all. I'd rather not see it at all than to see 2. So at 1 is fine, sometimes I see it and it does well, sometimes I don't see it and I don't care. That's it for the deck profile. Alright, well hopefully you guys enjoyed the deck profile. I really like playing this deck because Omnimon's my favorite Digimon of all time, so I have no issues playing this deck over and over again. Obviously I won't do that, but it is really fun nonetheless. It's really aggressive, and does take a good amount of skill to pilot correctly. So this is probably the best deck of the format, probably the most expensive deck of the format, and for good reason. If you guys can try it out, definitely do so. And I think I'm done. That's all I gotta say, so we'll see you guys next time. Take care.